Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sonic Adventure 1 Revisit Commentary. Amy, you died. We're in heaven now. What do we think about it?
It's a little more boring than I expected.
Everything's on fire!
I didn't expect heaven to look so Aztec.
Oh, we're in the other place. Oh, no.
Stalking is a crime, Amy.
Is this the one where you have to... Is this the Tikal... Yes, this is the Tikal section where you have to run backwards. To... Which they never establish you can do ever. And so you spend like an hour...
They certainly don't goad you into going backwards first because they point at the temple.
Yeah.
Well,
why not just spawn her at the
it's not like for progression. It's stupid, which I agree on that one. But it's not as if there's not anything to do in the temple because you can talk to the inhabitants.
There's nothing interesting going on, though.
I spent 6 hours looking for the fucking rhythm badge.
Let me just find it. Let me just say, I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to get you invested in the ancient Echidna civilization as a setting, which, to be fair, at the time was an interesting thing to explore. Somewhat less so now, especially since Ken Penders sort of shat all over that entire concept, putting it gently.
Let me ask you guys something. Because one of the things that I absolutely love about Majora's Mask is, like, the people I do meet in those worlds. But for some reason, I'm just not interested in talking to anybody.
Nobody has a name. Nobody has a set personality. They're the most generic.
Yeah.
They're the Welcome to Canaria NPC dialogue NES people that you normally see.
There's several reasons why it's not so interesting to talk to people in this game. The uninteresting dialogue and lack of character identity for these NPCs is one of them. The other thing is just
some of them have it. Some have it.
Yeah,
some
the other factor is that the presentation of the dialogue is bland.
Yeah, I would default off. I would say for one, it's just because this was the first Sonic game. Unlike say with Zelda. They've kind of, since Link to the Past, they've had that, so it's kind of an established thing you could speak to people. Because this is the first Sonic game to do that, I would imagine most people just didn't even bother doing it.
Also, I think Majora's Mask has kind of a different focus, because, like, Majora's Mask, they are kind of the point. Like, you want to get involved in people's lives to get masks and stuff, so that you find out about the little boy who's in love with the giant woman. Well,
the other thing, though, is that in games like Zelda, most if not all of the NPCs have individual models and stuff. Not individual models, their own little animations, and their own dialogue styles. There's a lot of care put into the writing, and this gets more involved the further into the Zelda series you get.
Yeah, because the NPCs in Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time certainly aren't interesting. So
they aren't particularly interesting, but they're interesting enough that there's incentive.
Yeah, so they're more interesting than Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, there's incentive
I will not have you two besmirch 90s kid. That kid is fucking amazing.
When it comes to older games, I feel like NPCs mostly serve the purpose of telling you what you should be doing. Like Final Fantasy is a perfect example of that, where you talk to everybody so you know what to do.
That's somewhat true, but and in Final Fantasy in particular, it varies from game to game, but there is a lot of character and world building to be found in the NPCs there. I think like 9 and 7 are particularly good examples of that. But
and I know Sonic Adventure is not RPG, but the game was released in 1998, and I feel that at that point there was a higher quality of standard for NPCs.
And although it's not technically an RPG, it was conceptualized as an RPG, and they were bringing in these elements from RPGs. So, man, it's so weird looking at the DX models when we've been looking at the Dreamcast models for the first half of this playthrough.
I don't like them.
Actually, I think. Look, I think the models look just fine, but it really helps that we have DX. We have mods now to have them better blend in. Because again, I wanted to make sure that my eyes weren't playing tricks on me. Like when I was recording this bit, after I finished, I loaded up this exact cutscene on DX on GameCube and PC, and they look like they're made out of fucking plastic. Like, it's crazy.
Well, no, see, Johnny, for me, it's the fact that it's these kind of very, very, like, the models here look much better than the Dreamcast version for me. So the fact that they're still stuck with the terrible fucking lip syncing and the awkward animation. It's like, no, seriously, I think that's why for this game,
what the hell?
The Dreamcast models.
What's going on with Amy's skirt?
Honest, like Gareth,
is it made of aluminum?
Gareth, I think I understand, but they both look awful no matter what. Like those animations are trash for both of them.
Yes, but because the original Dreamcast models are, quote unquote, I know they went off the screen.
Tails aren't even flap. Oh my god.
Because the Dreamcast models are inferior, it matches the crappy animations better than these higher poly models do.
Yeah,
so you kind of expect a little more. You kind of expect a little more when it's high quality.
Yeah,
I know. He's not even trying. He's exhausted, man.
Bye.
Okay, I'm about to go save the world.
So if we're thinking about this logically from Tails' perspective, in about 30 seconds, Amy should see a giant fucking missile just come out of the ocean.
She turns around and you should see it flying through the air behind her.
Yeah, so someone needs to edit that in at some point.
She's walking towards Tails and Eggman. She's walking towards... How could she not see this shit?
The city's about to get freaking blown up, but this bird's gone through some shit.
No, seriously, like, Tails and Eggman should be there. She should be fucking standing right next to Tails as Eggman charges with the speed highway.
What were you trying to say, Clement?
I was just saying, wouldn't it have been amazing if you saw like people freaking out and running the other way, like ah!
Yeah, and she's just fixated on the bird.
Yeah, no, she's walking forward, holding the bird, and then just box her face right into Eggman's back.
I feel like that should have been something that showed up in the old Sonic Shorts collections, you know?
Yeah, even if you just like inserted like Tails and Eggman's clips in the background, you could just faintly hear them in the background. It's like, what did we say? We check out the egg carrier. It was a dud. I can't believe this.
Guys, you could take that cutscene and rework the dialogue, and Amy could be like, "Give me back my fucking money." She's just like strangling that bird. Like, I'm gonna fucking show you, you fucking little shit.
You thought you could get away, huh?
Is it me, or does Amy's hammer jump feel weightier than the normal jump? Like, if there's one problem that I've had with Sonic Adventure 1 and 2's, both of them, their control feel, it's that when you jump, it kind of feels like you're jumping on the moon.
Well, that's more of a thing with 1 than 2, I think.
Yeah, and you know, it's purely a mental thing from the switch to 3D, because the jumping, the speed of your jump isn't really any different than it was in the Genesis games, as far as I can tell. But it feels floatier in 3D.
No, I would definitely say it's floatier than Genesis, because
maybe by a little.
You definitely hit the ground. Yeah, it's marginal, but I would say that's definitely.
And it was a concession made to how difficult it is to aim a jump, really. But Amy's hammer jump feels like just right to me. For some reason, I think that's maybe why I think it's fun to abuse. Yeah, like she doesn't spend too much time in the air.
Well, what's stupid is in this part of the game is you can take the raft to the egg carrier and the stage won't spawn until you come to this spot.
This scene. I'm sorry. Where'd it go?
Because the egg carrier is still technically there, right? And you can
you can go to it as a hub map, but the stage won't spawn until you get to this cutscene.
You see, here's an odd thing. For like 3 seconds there, Sonic Adventure 1's like crap ass, Sonic Adventure 1's crap ass presentation style actually worked for just 3 seconds there. For some reason, it just fit that scene, and I don't know why. It's just the stiff way she was moving added comedy to that.
The egg carrier right now is in the ocean.
Yes.
And you can go back to it at this point to get Amy's hammer upgrade, which I don't do.
At this point in time, the egg carrier has lost all its altitude.
Yes. That altitude is at pure 0, yeah.
But those robot maids are still scrubbing the deck, so that's nice.
Fortunately.
And there's a lot of water to drink.
You know what? I would love it if in the egg carrier there's a joke in the episode of Sonic Boom where Eggman makes Obo and Cubot like mop his floor, and then when the robots make him do it, he's like, I designed this floor to never get dirty. You don't need to mop the floor. I'd love if that's like the egg carrier. His ship is impervious to dirt, but he still made robots just to clean it, because he's that much of a piece of shit.
And every one of those robots has a little bird or squirrel inside.
Yes.
Do Orbot and Cubot have animals inside them?
No, I think at this point, yeah. Well, at least in context of Sonic Boom, his robots never have animals in them, so no, I don't think they.
Well, I mean in mainline Sonic.
Well, no, because technically then they're not badniks, so I don't think they would.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Eggman stopped using animals for his robots for a long space of time, then started briefly using them again in Lost World, and now I just don't think it's. They use the wisps instead of animals.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, if you defeat because I haven't played Colors in it, like you or so.
All of the animals have wisps. All the robots have wisps inside them. That's why you get boost by boost by killing the robots, because it's the regular wisps.
What about in Generations?
In Generations, I think they just sort of blow up.
Yeah, they just sort of.
Yeah, that was actually one of my hang-ups with Generations. If you're going to go as far as to bring these badniks back and have classic Sonic-style stages that are actually going back in time to the time when Eggman used animals in his robots, why didn't you just animate the animals into the robots? I mean, the animals in the game.
That is and at this point will make Ted happy. That is one point I will give SA2. I like the fact that SA2 has a mixture of badniks and like gun robots, but the badniks still include animals.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. So, Generations, if they did that, they would have had to have the gun robots for City Escape drop the capsules, and then that would have meant that they would have had to put in the Chow Garden, which would actually make people happy, and Sega doesn't like doing that.
They wouldn't have had to, but just as an aesthetic thing, they could have had them drop the Chaos Drives. Yeah. But
and this is why Sonic the Hedgehog 4 is better than Sonic Generations. Am I right?
My man knows. My man knows.
It was just a
Sonic
weird oversight.
That's what I think it's what the kids call a hot cake. Yeah.
It was just a weird oversight. That's all. Yeah. I'm not really sure why they didn't do it, but they did.
I liked it though. Yeah, like you shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth.
It's okay because Sonic's 30th anniversary is coming up soon, so
in 3 years.
Yeah, so we'll get another nostalgia rehash game then for them to do that.
He's like, oh my god, you want to talk about?
Dude, I feel old, man.
Yeah,
I've been playing this stupid franchise almost my entire life. I have done nothing with my life.
Man, just yesterday when I was at the dollar store, the cashier is a woman who's quite a bit older than I am. Just sees my NES hat and starts talking about random video game stuff from back in the old days, including how she has been looking for a Sonic Pez dispenser for ages, and I'm just like, wow.
They still make Pez dispensers?
And Lewis said, "Don't talk to me.
Like, wow.
I'm in BrainScratch. Don't speak to me."
I don't think they still make them. I'm not sure if they still make them, but she's apparently a Pez dispenser collector.
Well, I think because Skylar told me, I think the fucking Funko did. I think you can buy Funko Pop Sonic Pez dispensers, which Funko is a disease.
Wait, there's Funko Pop Pez dispensers?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, I buy Amiibo.
From God's light.
I buy Amiibo, so I shouldn't be able to judge that, but I am.
Stop, you can't.
Yeah,
you can't.
like
Amiibo boy, you can't.
I'm fine with the big bobblehead toys and the little minifigures. I have a random blind box Queenie Goldstein from the new Harry Potter movie on my bookshelf right behind me. But I don't know. Pez dispensers seem a bit,
Well, Pez dispensers were always the collectible for people who thought that stamps were too lame. So
guys, I wanna make a quick aside. So in part one, and I know in part one we saw in a flashback, that they made a Metal Sonic model. Do you think, say, if a game like this was made today, do you think fans, and Ted, you don't answer this because your answer would just be yes, because Sonic fans are dumb, so you be quiet at this point.
Well, that just means I'm right no matter what, so okay.
Okay.
No, 1 second. Do you think fans would have reacted as strongly to that little Metal Sonic cameo as they did to Chaos doing nothing in Forces? Also, this boss is pathetic.
The weird thing about that Metal Sonic model, though, is that it's a different Metal Sonic model than the one that's playable.
No.
Okay, actually, you know what, Gareth? I'm gonna actually disagree. I'm going to have faith in humanity and say no, because, and here's the reason why. Chaos was advertised pretty, not like majorly heavy, not like Infinite, but Chaos was brought, like, they made a big deal about him bringing him back. He's in a cutscene, he shows up, and him being there but not doing anything is more of something that would make fans upset, as opposed to an Easter egg that they can notice and be like, oh, cool, they referenced Mechasonic or whatever that one's named.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Sonic fans, Ted defended you. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. He defended you once.
Both Metal Sonic models are Metal Sonic from Sonic CD, but the Metal Sonic model in the background of the Final Egg hub area is a different model, as in it's differently proportioned than the playable
it's way
one.
lankier.
Yeah, it's strange. And I think they use that model in the cutscene, but the playable one is the one that's correctly proportioned to his like artwork and stuff.
Yeah, it's proportional to it's basically a Sonic skin. So it looks a little weird.
It's it's the one that's proportioned to like the Metal Sonic that we see in everything else though, whereas the Metal Sonic we see in the background has like longer spines and a generally taller body. It's the Sonic 06 Metal Sonic, in other words.
Basically, yeah.
I love this cut. You know what? SA1 has really good kind of arcs, if you want to call it, for Amy and Tails that all future games just fucking ignore.
Yeah, it's.
I like this ending for Amy. I like this ending. It implies character growth that wouldn't be shown until Boom, which is a fucking alternate continuity that doesn't mean anything.
She had to flash us. She had to flash her diaper at us one more time before her faded to black. Okay.
This game was made for Richard Kuta.
I really resent that they ignored.
Johnny, please tell me you got that. Please tell me you got that reference.
I did. That's why I want to throw up.
# deep cut reference. If I may quote Charles Darwin right now, we can all go home.
I don't get it, but I'm going to ignore that I don't get it.
Lewis,
don't.
Trust your instincts, my friend. Don't look it up. Don't look it up.
I really...
Do not.
I really resent that they ignored Amy's character arc after this game, though, because it seems like the perfect setup for future playable Amy, but they never capitalize on it.
I mean, at least Amy has it better than Tails, who has his character arc not only redone here, redone after SA2, and also redone in Forces. So at least her character arc only gets reset once. So, you know, that's something.
But Ted, at least in future games, like I mean, admittedly in SA2, them redoing Tails' character arc, it's odd. It's an odd choice, and it's disappointing. But it's better than literally just putting Amy back to like resetting her and doing nothing with her for like 10 years.
That's a good point. I guess you could argue that SA2 is more of a continuation, but that's a topic for another video.
Another day.
Not really, because she's like, if you marry me, I'll let you out of prison. Like, that's not what they're saying.
No, I'm talking about Tails. I'm talking about Tails.
I'll say that that line at that line in Sonic Adventure 2, I kind of initially read as her being a little bit self-aware and making a joke, because she immediately relents and doesn't really push it. But
Lewis, you are giving that era of Sega writers way too much fucking credit, my friend.
Yeah, I am. But that's how I like to read it, because it's funny that way.
I wish I could live in your world where Sega tried for once.
It's how I would have written it. Let's just say that. It's how I would have written it.
Yeah, let's put it that way.